Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we have such a very special guest. Her name is Ruby. And believe it or not, guys, she has definitely done us all a favor by inventing a new fitted sheet. And I am so happy to have you here with us, Ruby, and share your amazing journey and this great thing that you have invented for all of us to finally be able to deal with a fitted sheet. How are you, sweetie?
I am good.
Fabulous. Tell me about you. I know a little bit, but I want to know this amazing journey that you have went through and what inspired you to make the fitted sheet and where you are now.
Well, it started when my boyfriend injured his back. Um, and when he'd come up on the weekends, I didn't tell him that I didn't make the bed until he was here because I hate making a bed. But when he injured his back, I had no other choice. Now I've got two beds to make.
Yeah.
So when he was on his way home one day, figured out how to invent a top sheet. I took the corners off and it has a tail, and that's all you tuck.
Oh,
And it's one tuck and you're done. It centers itself.
and it stays the whole time.
It's actually, I have a trademark on the name Stay Put. So, yes, it
Oh, that
stays
is
put.
great. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So you came up with a top sheet. So how about the whole fitted? Like how did you just like decide, okay, we're going to keep moving forward with this?
Well, then a few months later, I had eye surgery that left me blind in my left eye.
Oh, wow.
And so it was kind of scary. And I thought, what if I lost my other eye? I started researching the challenges that the blind had in making a bed. And I invented befitted bedding.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Befitted is the name of our duvet cover, which will be a game changer.
Those things are
Imagine never having to
crazy.
stuff a duvet again.
That's what I was just gonna say. They can be very challenging sometimes. Like, what is happening? So you have a duvet cover that you no longer have to do that with? Like, is that
Mhm. Yeah, that's exactly right. It has a 16-foot zipper, starts up at the right hand corner. It goes down to the left hand corner. You open it up, you lay the duvet in, and you zip it back up. That's simple. And remember the name Stay Put?
yeah, I
That
like that.
tail, it's
Mm-hmm.
also on the duvet cover.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
I
it's a
like
duvet
that.
cover that's going to stay in place until you're ready to do laundry.
That is amazing. I like it. So when did you decide like so you were on this path? I'm guessing you made a sheet by yourself, right? Like one day you were like, this works, let me try it and just make your own sheet, right? So what when you were doing that, like what was like, you know, an eye-opening moment of like, wow, this is really going to work. Like I need to go further with this. Like what was in you to do that?
Well, we tested it for about approximately 3 years to make sure it stayed in place. And that's when we decided to patent it. So in 2016, we got a patent for it. And then, as I told you, after the eye surgery, I researched the challenges and the complexity of making a bed. And that came the duvet cover. And months later, just fiddling around, my partner came up with another idea of replacing the old fitted sheet, the one that pops off,
Oh yeah, or can't fold. Like I can't,
or you
you
can't
know,
fold
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well,
So yeah, that's I want to hear that one, how that worked out.
the tail that's on the stay put sheet,
Mhm.
now it's at the top of the bed. So you
Oh,
have a tail at the top, you have a tail at the bottom. The sheet centers itself. You tuck the top, you tuck the bottom, and it's not even necessary to tuck the sides, but you can if you want to. And it's called Stay Put 2.
so it's called Stay Put Two.
Number 2. Number
Oh,
2.
so it is two. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
that
so
is
it's going to stay in place also.
I love it. I love it. I am actually like, I had looked at your website and I know it was like a beautiful design. Like who helped you with that? Did you just think of different things like that and the colors, or was there ideas that were thrown your way? Like what inspired you with that stuff?
Everything about this company has been amazing. When I told a lady in New York about my idea, she had a friend that had owned her own bedding store in New York. And so we decided to go to Portugal to meet with the manufacturers over there. And the young lady who actually is from Lisbon, she met us at the manufacturing company. And it was my first time meeting her. I didn't even know she was going to be there, but she met us and she became our designer.
Wow.
When I
What?
tell you the freak things that have happened, actually, she turned out to be, she designed the interior of the home that Alicia Keys purchased several years ago for 23 million.
What?
Yes. Her name
What?
is Christina dos Santos.
I'm gonna have to get your interior. I'm gonna have to get your designer. See if she'll come design my house.
I'm waiting till I get some money so she can redesign mine.
Yeah. And then I'll just look at your house. I'll look at the inside of your house and I'll be like, oh, great. I'll have some ideas. So there we go.
Yeah.
Teamwork, Ruby. Teamwork. No, that is great. That is just, and I mean, that is what other fun, inspiring things has happened. I mean, like the more I hear about the betting and how it came about, and then there's just more fun things that go into it that the more you learn about it. What other fun, unique, inspiring things has happened with this fun betting?
It hasn't always been fun. When we started this, I didn't know that there was a difference in cotton.
Oh,
There's a long staple cotton and then there's a short staple. And I didn't know the difference. A long staple is your top quality cotton. It's Egyptian cotton, or your your bamboo would be long staple also.
okay. So that's
And
more of like a comfort thing, right? Like just how the style and how they're made and feel.
oh, it's how it feels.
Yeah.
The cotton absorbs. It's good to sleep on.
Okay. So
Yes.
long cotton is better to sleep on than
Long
short cotton.
staple cotton, yes.
Long staple cotton. See,
Yeah.
we all have learned something today. I did not know that. Had no
And I
idea.
learned the difference in thread count. You know,
Nope.
several years ago, there was a marketing ploy where there was an 1800 thread count sheets, and that's all it is. It's a ploy. When you're buying a sheet, you really don't need to go any higher than 400 thread count.
What is the thread count? Like what does that, I mean, I understand it's like probably the designing and making it and all that, but like who's keeping count of all this? Like, like
Some manufacturer did that. It's actually the number of threads per inch.
oh, okay. Okay.
Would you believe that when I was pregnant with my daughter, who is now 45, I started buying bedding because I was pregnant and miserable and I wanted something good to sleep on. And there was a designer, his name was Olga Cassini. He was a fashion designer, but he also went into making bedding. When I was pregnant, I went shopping for sheets. And believe it or not, back in those days, it was the best bedding that you could sleep on, and it was only 250 thread count.
So it's not really the thread count that makes it comfortable, it's the cotton.
It's the cotton, and it is the thread counting. If it gets too, if it's too many threads, it gets unbreathable.
Oh, okay.
So you want something that is comfortable to sleep on, that's breathable. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would have never known that, but I'm learning right here. I'm going to go back over that before the show ends because I know some other people are like, I didn't know the long staple cotton or the short, had no idea. The more you know. So I also believe that you also opened your own karate um,
Yes.
school.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. When my kids were 13 and 17, they were going to a karate studio, and there was a problem with the instructor. He was having a lot of pain, so he was taking medication, and my kids noticed that there was a problem. And my son came home one day and told me, he says, Mom, something is wrong with Don. And so I called Don and I asked him what was wrong. And the next day he called me back and he says, Mrs. Russell, he says, you upset me so much yesterday. I had to take 2 volumes to calm down. So I
Okay.
said, okay. And at that time, my son was a second degree black belt. My daughter was a third.
Oh,
No, my daughter was testing for her second. And so I pulled them out, and with their best friend, who had been a student there also, I took a credit card because I didn't have a job at the time, and I opened up a karate studio in which we graduated 30 black belts before it closed.
that's I mean, just to go on a whim and say I'm going to open up a karate studio. My kids, your kids are the ones that did the teaching, right? Like they.
Yeah, and because they were young, we had to go and sit there every night for 4 nights a week because
And
they were
so,
underage.
so you were not working at the time, so you were able to go and do the 4 hours with them, so they could.
Well, we had to do it was an hour each night, and it was 4 nights a week.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay, that's
Well,
good.
my husband and I and a friend and her husband, we all took turns, an hour each night. And we kept the karate studio until my kids got to the point where they were going off to college, and we passed it on.
I love that. Um, and something else that I know a little bit that I think our audience would benefit from hearing from someone like you. You were married, right?
I was married for 32 years.
32 years.
Yes.
32 years. And so one day you were just like, I'm just gonna go adventure over here. I mean, like what, like just is that what I mean, I know that's not what happened, but it's like after 32 years, most people are like used to each other and they're in the vibe with each other and they're like, okay, like this is where it's at. But Mr. B had something different happening.
Well, things were good financially. We had a good life financially, had a beautiful home, but I was miserable.
Aw.
My husband was, he's a little bit of a cheater. And so the night that Princess Diana died, I decided to leave home because I had all of this material stuff, but I was unhappy. So I relayed it to her. And I just thought, I just didn't, whoops, I dropped something. I didn't want to be miserable anymore. So I called my son, who was living in Nevada, and I asked him, I said, do you think you could deal with your mom? And he says, yeah, can you be here tomorrow? And I said, no, but give me 3 weeks. And my husband was more than happy to help me pack up because he was having an affair at the time. So, he was thrilled that I was leaving. I left him in a beautiful home. And a year later, he called me and he told me, he says, it's time for you to come back home. And all I could do was laugh
What?
because I told him, I said, I told you I would never come back, only in a pine box. And I said, I'm not dead, so I'm not coming back.
Do you still so I know that you have a significant other that you have been with for a while now, who, by the way, I believe is in his 90s maybe, and goes running, right? Goes running. Like that
Well, he
is
doesn't run, he walks now, but he's
what,
96.
96?
Yes.
Like
He
that
goes
is.
for a walk every day with his dog. He works out every day. He does his balancing act. Um, he's had some issues lately, but the past 16 years, oh my God. December the 12th, we'll be celebrating 16 years. He is the most amazing man. He I just don't know what enough to say about him. We make an awesome couple.
And hearing that some of the things that I've heard from you and the things that you have done, it really does seem that way. Like I can just feel that when you talk about him and this, like how you smile and you're just like, oh yeah, and we did this and we did that. And you're like, he's out right now on a walk or something. And I was like, he's out just on a walk. Oh yeah. And that's how we got, and I'm like, what? Like I mean, one, if I'm able to get to 96 and still be healthy, I will be very thankful. But to be healthy enough to walk and live on my own and make new things and just have fun with my, like that is great, and I'm so happy for the both of you that you are able to do that. Like that's
I
amazing.
remind him all the time how blessed he is, and I hope I am in the same shape when I get his age. He's
Well,
in there right now, mopping his bathroom floor because I'm not a maid.
she says I'm not a maid.
Yeah,
What?
that's the best way to keep him young is to keep him working.
There you
Actually,
go.
when
Yes,
we met,
yes.
the first 10 years we traveled the world. We've been to 38 countries. And when I invented that sheet and he decided to help me along with it, he was a civil engineer. So everything that I came up with, he could put it on paper.
Yes,
So
yes.
business wise, we make a good partner also.
I love that for you. How did you guys deal with all the stress? Like I'm sure there was a lot of stress and anxiety that was going on with all of this, and I'm sure even so now, but like how did you guys deal with that and how did you process that and what was your outlet?
We just thank God every day and just, and work together. He and I have done so much more than starting a company. He had a home about 60 miles away. He would drive here every weekend to see me. And when I met him, he was paying $250 a month to get his lawn done. So we landscaped his yard, zero-scaped it. We did all the work ourselves. It was really cute because we had to take up 2,800 square feet of grass.
You guys did that
Yes,
yourself?
yes, we did it ourselves. He had a sod cutter, and it was so big that it took both of us together to hold it up.
Wow. Wow.
And then we
That's
remodeled my home from ceiling to floor. When Louis was 80, he put all new hardwood floor in my house. When he was 85, we built a deck in my backyard,
just the two of you?
just the two of us.
Oh, I love his name, Louis. I love that.
Yes.
Louis. How fun.
And so, we love to keep busy. So I told him, I said, your daughter needs a deck. So why don't we go build her one? And that's when he injured his back. Her patio was upstairs. So um, he had to climb a ladder. And when he was coming down off the ladder, he fell flat on his back. At
Oh.
85, the normal person would probably die. Louis got up, took some Advil, and went back to work. We finished her deck.
Louis, I think we need to have a little talk about self-care, buddy. We got to slow down just a little, okay?
I know.
I love that. I just love how, I hope again when I'm there, I'm able to do those types of things, like that is a blessing, and I love that your outlet was God, right? Like that was
Oh,
just,
yes,
yeah,
definitely.
like that is, I love that. And you guys, um,
I
did,
count my blessings every day.
yeah, yes. Um, so is there a time where it's like, because you guys work together, right? And all the projects you guys are doing, you guys do together. Is there a time when it's like you're like, okay, I need some time because you're overwhelmed, or like maybe Louis is overwhelmed. Like how do you guys, for me with my husband, I'm like, okay, he goes to work and I'm able to do my own stuff and he can do his own stuff, and then we can reunite again. But I don't know about working with him and being doing all those projects. I feel like I'd get, oh,
We have fun doing it. As a matter of fact, my yard, I walked outside one day and there's toilet paper all over my front yard. So the sewage had backed up. And
Oh,
so we had an 8-foot hole in our front yard, and we decided to zero-scape it. I'd had zero-scaped it before with, it's called DG, it's like sand. But then we looked at artificial turf. And so we got these huge rolls of artificial turf. We had someone help us put it on top of the car at Home Depot, and we brought it home and we got it down and we figured out how to move it, just the two of us. So we landscaped both my front and backyard with artificial turf and had fun doing it.
so you guys get through your stress, your
By
work, and your
thinking
daily
different.
living, yes, with each other. Like that's just Ruby, that is great. I love your energy. I love how you are just this happy, vibrant person and you're just, no, we do it all together. Like, yes, we like a lot of people can't say that, like, no, we need to go on vacation or we need to go and do this. And you guys just keep doing fun, really big projects together, like to ease your stress. That is great. What do
Yeah.
your kids think?
Oh, my kids love him. They think he's great.
Yeah.
But they live far away, so it's just the two of us. And when we remodeled my home, we took windows out and put in sliding doors. So he has his quarters, I have mine. So we have our own space. I don't have to see him unless I want to. At night, I always call him to say good night, even if he's in the next room.
You hear that? She calls him, guys. Calls him, okay?
Yeah.
Look, she's all about working and teamwork, and that's how they're going to relieve their stress. But at nighttime, she's going to call him, and she has her own quarters to go to if she wants. That
If I
is,
don't call him, he calls me.
I love it. I love that type of, I mean, that is just fun. It is fun. And like, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do it together and we're going to have fun. But then I can go over here and you go over there and we'll call each other if we want. Like, that is what
Exactly.
it should be. That is fun. I like it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and so your kids live far away, and I think you had mentioned he has kids. How, like, do they ever just say to you guys, like, maybe you shouldn't be doing that, or maybe you guys should just start slowing down a little bit, or, like, has that ever been a thing, or are they just like, go ahead, like, just,
You know, I think that's what's keeping us going. Louis is 96. I'm going to be 74 next month. And we do everything, you know. I have we have a 10,000 square foot yard that I love landscaping. That's my number one hobby is gardening. And so we just work on everything together.
that
And
is,
when it came to the company, I was able to come up with the ideas and he was able to put them on paper.
that's great. So, do you guys also, I know you said you had a designer, but do you guys also look at like the colors and the design and like agree on what to do or not to do? Or is that just something that you deal with, or how do you do that?
Well, we left that up to the designer, but we did our shopping.
Oh,
Um, we went shopping for fabric to make the first sample.
oh, yeah.
We looked at all and studied thread. We studied fabric. Like I said, we didn't know anything. So we had to learn it all. And it was fun putting it all together.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it was fun, right? I mean, I know a lot of people would probably find that stressful as I would, like trying to get it all put together and put it down on paper. And, at least you guys were able to pull together and do that together as a team, like what he was good at doing and you were good at doing, like that. You guys were able to work together like that. So that is some good stuff. So what would you tell people, that is listening and maybe either they have an idea or, or maybe they've been married for, you know, 25, 30 years and they're kind of feeling like how you were feeling, like what would you say?
You only get one life to live and you need to be happy. I wasn't happy. So I moved and I lived by myself for 25 years, loved every minute of it. So it was kind of hard when he moved in because now I only have a 2-bedroom house. And so now he's in my space. But we fixed the house so that we have our own space. You know, it really works as long as you give each other space, you know. Sometimes I want to go someplace and he says, "Can I go with you?" And I go, "No, I want to listen to the music by myself." You know.
And you guys respect each other enough to do that. It's not like well, why can't I go? Or, like some people get upset if someone doesn't want them to go with them somewhere because they take it personal when, at least you guys understand it's nothing personal. You just want your own space for a little bit. You would enjoy music and just have your own, going in your mind with yourself, like not be bothered.
Oh, that's definitely the truth. I don't go for a walk with him. I go to the gym instead.
Yeah.
And when he first moved up here, he says, "I'm going to go to the gym with you." And I go, "No, you're not.
See?
That's
Yes.
my time."
Thank you. I say the same thing, and it's like, no, you should go together. No, I want to go and I want to enjoy the gym and do what I want to do, how I want to do it, listen to the music that in my ears that I want to listen to, and not be bothered by somebody or like I just want to. That's like a therapeutic place, right? Like I don't want to. I don't want to have to be entertained.
And
Yeah,
one of the best things about Louis, he loves shopping, and I hate to shop.
really.
Yeah. So he goes to the grocery stores because I hate the grocery store.
Yeah, you're not doing it. No, no grocery store.
Before he moved here, we'd go out to lunch 2 days a week, and that's what I'd eat for the next week. Is I'd eat leftovers from going
Aw.
out to lunch.
Aw. Wow, that is great. So, what is like the website, like your website name? I think it was like Be Fitted, maybe.
Yeah, it's
Um,
fittedbedding.com.
mhm.
We just applied for an international patent for our duvet cover. And because we are seniors and we have been bootstrapping for we've been at this for 10 years now. We've been offered millions for the company. That
And you won't do it?
It was during the time of COVID. We launched our website on March 10th, 2020. That was actually the day the world shut down. The stock
Oh,
market went down almost 3,000 points. So all I could do is I told Louis, I said, God is telling us to take a pause. And so we did. So all we could do, we didn't have any money. We live on a fixed income. So we just maintained the company. And then in 2023, another March 13th, 2023, he and I went to London to meet with investors. And it was a summit that I was going to, and the guest speaker was the president, someone from Silicon Valley Bank.
okay.
That was the day they dumped. They crashed the market. So
But
that
that
was
meeting,
another setback.
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that meeting would have been fun.
No, it wasn't. So here we are a year later, and we're regrouping. We filed for our most recent patent, which is the bottom sheet, and we're moving forward. So now we have take all of the complexity out of making a bed to the point of where our child can make it.
Yes, didn't you make a doll?
We have a doll bed
Okay, okay.
because of how our top sheet, actually a bottom sheet too, and the duvet cover, because they all have a tail. We lose about 2 yards on each piece of on each item. So we took that and not having to recycle it, we came up with the idea of making a doll bed. And so with that, we have a book. It's called Befitted Kids. You can go to Amazon and buy Befitted Kids. The book actually teaches a kid how to make the bed. And before they go to sleep at night, how to tuck the monster underneath the bed.
Monster. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
So we sustainable. We created something that takes uses up all the fabric. So we have recreated every single item on the bed to make it easy. And our bedding has been accredited by the American Council of the Blind as accessible beddings because it's so simple to make. I I haven't seen one yet or been around one, but I think a 3-year-old could make her bed because
You
it's
know, I
so
think
simple.
I have plenty of them around me, so I think I'm going to give it a shot. I've seen them, and I know I have an idea of what they look like. So I think you are right. I think they could. Um, so that'll be. I'll definitely let you know how that goes on my end because I think
Well,
you're right.
if you make a bed correctly under the traditional way, you do a 7-step hospital corner.
Oh,
It's complicated. As a matter of fact, it's so complicated. There is a hotel in Virginia that teaches people how to do a hospital corner. And that's what you get when you go to a hotel. They do the hospital corners. You ever gone to a hotel and your feet feel like they're in a
oh,
claw?
yes, and you can't lift it like you're trying to pull them to get the.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a hospital corner. So we took the corners off of all everything
Thank you.
except for our bedspread.
Oh,
We don't call it a bedspread. We call it a coverlet.
a coverlet.
Yes. And we actually put a corner on the coverlet. So our coverlet it fits like a glove around the foot of the bed. So everything stays put. So all you do is sit up in the morning and pull it up and get out of bed and you're done.
Listen, no more making the bed. Like no more like pulling the sheet, folding it like that is a game changer. And you're saving so much time. And like you, I don't like making the bed. I'm not like I'm not going to take an hour out of my time. And yes, I said an hour because by the time you take the bedding off, you put it on, you fix it. Yeah, I'm anyways. No, no, I'll wait because I'm going to get right back in it. Now, if I'm leaving for a week or a weekend or something, then I'll make the bed. But now there's a new thing in play here that just isn't going to take all that time, and that's a game changer. Ruby, thank you.
I make my bed every day now because you walk back and forth into your bedroom all the time. And when you walk in there and your bed is made, that's a good feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
And when it's simple to make, you can make a bed from scratch in less than 5 minutes now.
And I'm thankful for that. I can't wait to do that. And you want to know something? That is like, you know, again for kids and you do it blind, right? Like you have one eye that you're blind in and you're able
Yes,
to do it in less than 5 minutes. And I'm sure for you to go in there, it's like, I'm making this bed, but only because I made it so I can do it within 5 minutes. This is my stuff that I made it with. Like that has to feel great when you're doing it, right? Like,
exactly.
like here, I did that. Like I would be, yeah, like I'm gonna go make the sheet that I made last week. Like, like here we go.
Well, on sensitive days, I wear an eye patch on my left eye. And so I've actually put the eye patch on my right eye and have made my bed blind.
Oh,
It centers itself so you can feel the corners and you just flick it out and then you just feel the tail. It's so simple to make. And one of the reasons that I did it is because while I was researching bedding, I watched a video of a young girl making her bed for the first time. She was blind. She was 15, and they had to put a marker on every single item, the top sheet, the bottom sheet. Everything had to have a marker on it, including the bed frame, so that she'd know where the center of it was.
okay,
And
yeah.
so now you don't need those because you can actually feel how to center it.
I'm excited for this. I cannot wait to get my hands on it and do send you a nice video of all of us making our beds with your stuff. Like, look, this
And then
3-year-old can do it, Ruby.
and another thing too, my coverlet and the duvet cover, they are reversible.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm
Wow.
just trying to we want to change how the world sleeps, you
Yeah.
know, bring
Yeah.
bedding into the 21st century because, the fitted sheet was invented this February will be 68 years.
I was going to ask you that. I remember that was something we talked about, and I couldn't remember what it was, but I knew it has been a while. So it's definitely time for a change. And here's what I want to know. I'm talking about myself too here, but how is it that no one has ever come up with something? I mean, things are changing constantly, and people are coming up with different ideas of how to do things and different ways to do things. Like, why do you think it took so long for something to stay the same until you came up with your idea?
Well, in 1974, someone came up with something similar to the sheet that I invented, but he didn't do anything with it.
Oh,
But when I invented it, I realized what an awesome idea it was because in the hospitality industry, it's going to save them time, labor costs, and workers' comp.
oh yeah, yeah.
So our focus right now is on the hospitality industry, but we recently applied for a patent, an international patent. And the most popular place in the world for duvet covers is everywhere outside of the US. We don't use duvet covers here, but in
Right.
other countries, that's all they use because they don't use a top sheet.
So I'm sure your duvet cover. So have you been able to sell it overseas yet, or are you waiting to get to be able
We're
to do that?
waiting for the international patent to go through because, that idea is just so sensitive to us.
Oh
We
no, that
don't,
makes sense. Yeah.
as soon as the application has gone through, then we'll tell the world. We have talked to several, a gentleman that's working with us, he's talked to several stores in London that are interested, like Harrods, Selfridges, Reed's,
Oh
they're
yeah.
interested in our designs. But because we're bootstrapping it, we've only had money to do a patent for the duvet cover. So we're keeping the bottom sheet under wraps because that's really going to be a game changer also. Imagine never having to fold a fitted sheet again.
So I can't wait. That's what I'm saying. Like, I cannot wait to get my hands on this stuff and be like, oh guys, look at this. Like
Yeah.
this, this is gonna be something. So I mean, I'm excited for you and I'm excited for everyone else because I know how I hate making the bed. I know how the sheets get tangled up in your feet and all that other stuff. So just to be able to have a bedding that doesn't do all that kind of stuff and it's just simple, easy way of living is great. I love that.
Oh,
I love it.
definitely.
Um, so with you, we're going to be finishing up here soon, but I just wanted to sort of, with you having, blind and doing all this stuff, how does that uh, interfere with your everyday living? Like, are you still able to do all of the fun things, or has that changed a little bit for you?
Fortunately, I have 20/20 vision in my right eye.
Oh,
Yeah.
good thing.
We used to love to do road trips, but we don't do those anymore because I don't trust his driving. He's 96. He
We won't
goes
tell
he
everybody.
goes to the store by himself, but I don't want to be in the car because I seem to distract him, and he's run a couple of stop signs or red lights, so I don't ride with him anymore. So if I need something from the store, I go, "You go." You know,
There you go. There you go. No,
yeah.
you go ahead. You go ahead and do it. I'll be right here waiting. Yes, I like that. I like that. But and in all fairness, Ruby, I can tell you there's been a couple times I've been driving down the road and there goes a stop sign. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know that was there. Look at that. Like, where'd that come from? Yeah, more than, I'd like to admit. So,
Actually losing my one eye makes me more cautious.
Oh, yeah.
And when people tell me, when I tell them I'm blind in my left eye, they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I can't, I don't feel sorry for myself because of the fact that if I hadn't have been blind in my left eye, I wouldn't have come up with all of these amazing designs for the bed.
Yes.
And I
So
love what I've created because it is so cool.
yes, and a lot of others are going to love it too, and be thankful.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that when you say that you took something that had happened to you that a lot of people would have, had to readjust a lot of things that they were doing in life. But instead of, I don't want to say feeling sorry for yourself, but instead of being like, now what am I going to do? Or how am I going to, do this? Or how am I going to do that? You just kind of like embraced it and decided, I'm going to figure out a way and I'm going to make it even better. Right. Like
Right.
that's,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I found a need when my partner injured his back and found it difficult to make the bed. There we go, the top sheet. And then I lose my eyesight. There goes everything else. So now you'll have a blanket with no corners. So everything will be one tuck. So simple.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for all those that are listening, if you are, you know, going through something, let's look on the other side of it and how we can embrace it and maybe make things easier for others who might be going through something like that. Like Miss Ruby did. That
Exactly.
is great. I love that. And thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for, you know, embracing things that were changing in your life and trying to make things easier and then making it easier for all of us and coming up with this great idea of the be fitted. I like that. I love
Yes.
it.
And you never get too old to do anything.
No, and I love you. I love your energy. I love Louie's energy. Like it's so much fun. So much fun and
Getting
I'm so
old is a
happy.
privilege. It
Yes.
really is.
Yes, and I wish more people would also see that because
We
there's a
should
lot of
embrace it.
people, unfortunately, that aren't able to do that. And so, my
It's
my
a
little
lot of
guy,
attitude.
yeah, yes, yes. All right, Ruby. Well, is there anything you want to share before we end the show?
Um, we are we're bootstrapping as seniors, so we've been building the company on our senior income. So we haven't been able to order all the things that we need to do. So we are launching our website, but everything is pre-order. But we're really going to have a launch in February because in February you've got Black History Month. On the 11th, you've got Inventors Day, which on the 13th, you have Bertha Berman, where the name Befitted came from. Bertha Berman was an African American woman who invented the fitted sheet 68 years ago on February the 13th, 1957. But before she invented the fitted sheet in 1937, she invented the toothbrush holder.
Oh,
So imagine a woman that has touched more bodies than that's invented items that has touched more bodies than any item in the world, and no one knows who she is. There's only a couple of paragraphs on her life. Believe me, I researched because I invented a top sheet, so I wanted to know who invented the fitted sheet. And that's how I found out about her.
I that is something.
Yes.
Wow, wow.
1937. That's not it. It's not easy to get a patent, and
Yeah.
they're expensive too. That's why I'm broke.
Oh, well, I mean, so do you sell them in the US yet? Because I know on your website, like I had seen some and I'd seen them in colors and different designs. So are they able to get over here?
We will be selling them over here, but we don't have money to buy right now because the minimum order is 500 sets, and that's about $250,000. And we put all our money into getting to the point of where we are now. And we thought things would go better, but like I said, we've had 2 market crashes since we started, which set us back. But we're pre-selling.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So
Okay.
anybody that wants to buy and help us out, we'll get it. We're getting it out.
Yes. Well, I definitely am going to be going and, you know, getting myself on that list because that's going to be a game changer, Ruby. Game changer.
Well, just
And
like
you guys haven't given
perfect
up yet.
Valentine's gift.
There you go.
Yes,
Or oh wait, so it won't be out till next year. So Christmas would
February.
in February it'll be out. So
Well,
there's
we've got a new manufacturer, so we are in the process of trying to get it out by December, but I don't know if we're going to be able to make it. But we will definitely have products out for sale by February.
well, yeah, I can't wait for that. And
Celebrating
if you
our
had
month.
yeah, if it was December, we would be all about Christmas, guys. Christmas, Christmas. Get your family that first fitted sheet ever. Well, not
Well,
fitted
they
any.
can order it and give them a gift certificate for it. And then
There
you've
you
got,
go.
yes, and then you've got Valentine's coming. And right after Valentine's, you've got weddings. I mean, a
And there's
perfect
Easter.
wedding.
Yeah, you got Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more that I'm missing, but no, the gift certificate. So you can get a gift certificate on the website.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. All right. So it's befitted.com, correct?
Befittedbedding.com.
Okay, befittedbedding.com. Okay.
Yes.
All right, Ruby. Well, I have enjoyed talking with you. I am so grateful and thankful that you came on and shared your story and your journey and your new project that you're working on, and it's going to be coming out soon. I'm excited for that. And yeah, I can't wait to see how this changes everything. So,
Thank you so much for the privilege of being on your show.
no, thank you,
I
Ruby. You're so
really
sweet.
appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I really do. You're an amazing person, and I truly just love talking to you. Like everything about you is just fun. You're fun.
Well,
I
you're
love
my
you.
young me, remember?
No. Oh, okay, Ruby, you're gonna make me cry. Stop that, okay? She's so sweet. All right, love. Yeah, if you don't have anything else, then we are just going to finish things up here. And again, you can go to befittedbedding.com
Yes.
and get a gift certificate if it's not out yet, or in February, get out there and get those new sheets that'll be coming out. I cannot wait to get this game changer. So,
Yeah,
Ruby,
even
again,
though
thank
we've changed it, if you forget the name, remember fitted sheet,
you.
be fitted.
Be fitted. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Well, we'll also have links and stuff so they can go on it and they can, on the website and under the show information, we'll have your information there. So if anyone, for whatever reason, is driving or can't write down what it is, they'll be able to find it
And as soon
on
as
the
we
app.
get some pre-orders, we'll have money to bring an order out.
I can't wait. I can't
Yes.
wait.
Bootstrapping to Billions. My
Yeah.
book's going to be coming out.
Oh, you're doing
Not,
another book?
I'm working on it.
Oh,
Bootstrapping
Ruby,
to Billions.
we're going to talk about that when we're done recording here backstage. We'll talk about that. But I have had fun talking with you. I will, definitely have an invite for you again soon to come back on the show, give us an update of where we're at with the new sheet and stuff, and see how you and Louie are doing. But until then, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to chatting with all of you very soon.
Thank you so much for the privilege.
Yes, sweetie. Thank you.